just about right. Of course, change one thing and automatically does that.
Yeah.
It is so finicky.
I think that's its code for, I don't know what to say.
Or like, it's like one of the picture options that it gave was like a little risky. So it's like, oh, we don't want to show it. And it's like, then take that one out and just show the ones you can.
Anyway.
Alright. Fix that. Okay, you are live. So.
I am live.
I hear us speaking, so we need to hear the gameplay.
Alright. Let's test. I just fired off a few shots. Oh, Deacon, you're still with me.
I can hear us talking. I need to hear the game.
Yeah. How's everybody doing tonight?
I hear you. You're good.
Oh,
there is a lag. Be aware.
Oh, there's always going to be a lag. Not your fault, though, Dog Meat. Deacon, it could be yours. Alright, now let's see. What were we doing before we quit last? Oh, right. We were determining Augusta Safe House's location. Or not really location, but confirming whether or not it was. You're alive? Thank God for that. Yeah, you may not say that after some other nonsense we do tonight, but we'll see how that goes. All right, off to save what remains. Huh, I guess the safe house is like right next to a Brotherhood outpost. That's not good for them. Discord just told me you were live. Well, good. We are live, so Discord did not lie to you. Which would be a shame. Anyone else incredibly disappointed by the Gamma gun? Like, I have never used that and said, you know, I'm glad I did that. Very seldom have I ever gotten any joy out of it. If I heard of the Outriders, I think you would like the story. Maybe I've heard of it, but beyond that, no. I don't know anything else about it other than the name Outrider. So, back to helping out the organization that's going to get me Ballistic Weave. That's what we're here for.
Always.
Would just hate to anyone to get a misconception that we're here for any other reason. And we lost Deacon. Oh, there he is. Dang it. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Dog meat, bullet sponge. Let's get into it. Is there an entrance here? Nope. Only more cardboard. Gamma rifle with a scope, but only against humans. That's the big problem with it. It works only against humans. Every other thing that goes bump in the wasteland, perchance not. The skeeters have been dealt with. Oh crap, that's right, I'm suffering from withdrawal. Oh shit. It wasn't ghoul withdrawal, you animals. Did I piss off Nurgle? What is this? This is because I painted Dark Angels and not Plague Marines, isn't it?
Probably.
The fact that Lark leaves people alive at all is very disappointing. Well, if I kill them all, then I'll have nothing to play with.
That is true. We cannot deny that.
Oof. That was rough. So, go back to wearing the leather armor. I feel that it's better for the situation. I mean, you're wearing a perfectly clean doctor's coat. How is that camo? You stick out like a sore thumb. Bad, Deacon. Alright, let's get in there and let's confirm that your organization is yet more of a failure than previously thought.
It is quite a failure.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, every single safe house with what, exception of like 2, get wiped from existence? And all because Trash Can Carlo just told the Institute for some caps, yeah, they're that way. Great stealthing, my guy.
Someone there?
No, no one's here. Just your imagination and us chickens. Oh my gosh, I think they bought that. That great old Bethesda AI. Okay, so it ends with RE. At least one would assume. There we go. Hacker Man. Catch. That's because you're dead. Silly raiders. Just because you killed railroad men doesn't mean that I'm gonna let you live.
That is true.
If it explodes, I'm obligated to shoot it. That will not explode. Red Barrel lied to me. I don't know how to feel about that. I believe you mean I won. Deacon, you did not do anything. Let's see. I got one question for both of you. For the comment. Not where was it before so rudely interrupted? I got one question for the both of you. For the common and event executions of For Honor, will you rank them together or not?
I haven't decided yet.
Yep, that's more of a Raven question. Clever Deacon, he can draw fire if he knows what he's doing. Which, let's be real, does he? I'm not convinced. But again, this lockpicking will show that I clearly don't know what I'm doing. Never mind, I actually knew what I was doing. Alright. Anything in here? It's gonna be your last, though, genius. Where are you? Found you. What is this we? You speak in French? Don't you mistake our skills for a second there, pretty boy. Alright. Now, let's get rid of this rat and start getting some health back. There we go. Let's see. Hey, Raven and Lark, did you guys see the article I sent in Video Topics about how racism was invented in the Middle Ages?
Yeah, I saw that. I'll have to look at it later, man.
The Romans would like a word with you, as well as the Greeks.
It's them trying to say that the Christian medieval era created racism because Christians are responsible for everything. Heard it before.
So, the usual then.
Yeah.
Gosh. If they could just do like just a little bit of research, they would realize, oh, this take is dog shit. Just absolute insanity. Alright, well, I think we've effectively confirmed, Deacon, this railroad doesn't know how to defend itself. But you know what? Just for dog meat and the ballistic weave, I'll investigate a little bit further. You help me so much, give me so much equipment. Who you? I'm with the railroad, workload shotgun. Such a shame. I have to have standards. I just thought I just bought the female Raven Lord Cup. I'm so pumped for it to come.
Hey, appreciate that. That's the first Teespring buy in 4 months, I think, maybe longer. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Which means you're special.
Well, it means that the Teespring store isn't entirely useless.
Yeah, I mean, someone's gonna get a sweet, sweet deal out of this. Because, hey, those cups are good. Hey, guys. No, your head is actually off. Then again. Hello, I'd like service, please. Service! Maybe I need to perform what they colloquially call a desk pop. Nope, can't even answer. Service is terrible here. I'd like to file a complaint, sir. I would like to file a... Sir. You're being most rude. Everyone, please leave Augusta Safe House as a bad Yelp review. They made me kill dogs. That is already not a good look for them.
Alright.
Peter's going to be upset, but that's okay. We can lure Peter into a false sense of... Why? Why? What purpose does this serve? I will be taking the combat knife, though, because I'm a kleptomaniac.
You have to do these games.
Oh, nice! They're actually thinking. Well, I just screwed myself. I was hoping I was out of range of that, but nope, now we're going to be locked in an invisible loop. Behold, Bethesda at its finest. Let's see if there's any chance of us getting out of this. Nope. We're going to have to go back. Okay, good. We just got to go to the beginning of the hospital. We're fine then. Let's see. Really hoping to get what is essentially metal plates underneath your clothes. Can't you just do that with some scrap metal? Not quite, because this isn't just like putting plates underneath your clothing. This is the equivalent of like specific Kevlar mesh under your clothing, or actually even better stuff like carbon fiber stuff. It's actually pretty good stuff. Now, after the layout of this place, I can kind of figure out why the railroad got defeated so easily. Yes. Perfect. Anyway, who'd care to die? No, I'm not scared. Why do you ask? I've killed you before, and I'll do it again. But I will steal all your cigarettes first, though. I don't have a problem. You have a problem. Finally, somebody brought an RPG to the fight. Yeah, that was good thinking on their part. They said, like, yeah, I'm not going to try and scope out, just blow it up. In the Wasteland, not the worst strategy. Go back to sleep. Nothing to see here. Use God mode. No. I ain't doing that. Do you play any instruments? Raven used to be able to play a bit of the guitar. But that was many moons ago. He hasn't picked a guitar in a while. I used to be able to flat pick it, but that was it. Do you think you will do a video on the Roman Empire and the Greeks and other people that respond against the zombie plague? Depending if the current video goes up, Raven might be willing to do a follow-up. But what's ironic is if you actually read the Zombie Survival Guide by Max Brooks, he actually does a pretty good job discussing how the Roman Empire would probably deal with it. He says that once they figured out what it is, they treat it like any normal problem, like anything else they deal with. What I don't agree with is how they started saying that, oh, the medieval Europeans, they just wouldn't be able to cope with it. And also, plate armor, for some reason, just is terrible. It's like, yes, if plate armor is just collectively terrible, why did so many people try and switch over to it, despite the expense? It's because it wasn't as heavy as people think, and it was actually quite good for protection. Did you hear that there's an attempted hostile takeover of Disney trying to put... I'm not sure if Raven's heard about it. I have. And I've been hearing rumors about it for a while, so I hope that's what's going to happen. But then again, I think the only people I've heard it from are... the Quartering and what's the other guy? Doomcock, yeah. So I like what they have to say, but sometimes what they say they say, yeah, this is just a rumor, and then the rumor turns out to be absolute bull. Like if we went by what Doomcock said, Kathleen Kennedy has been fired 5 times by now, and yet she's still on the company. So I like the guy, but I don't think his sources can always be considered reliable. But what are you going to do? Probably should have healed myself, then saved, but whatever. First, buff out. Got to get rid of my drug stuff, or my withdrawal symptoms, at least temporarily. Alright. Free beer? Thank you. Don't mind if I do. Let's see. One thing is, that's the owner of Wendy's in El... He owns Wendy's? Whew, that'll be interesting. Does that mean that food in Disney World will become more affordable if he takes over? Because there'll be a Wendy's we can go to? Because I hate those prices, man. Just... Epcot will clean you out. Who had the... No, not you. Not you. Someone's getting blasted. Yep. Got it. Who has the rocket launcher? I like the quarter and doing it. I do too, but you have to take everything that Doomcock says with a grain of salt, because I want to... Found him. Now is the time for stealth. Gosh, that makes this hard to read. Let's see, what to use. Add Victorian will do. Found you. That should have put him down. Is he still kicking? There he goes. Oh, he was a tough SOB, wasn't he? Get laser. Anyway, back to shredding them with, Listen, this gun will be good in space, I promise. Unironically, it's good in Starfield. A little up there, and there we go. Have a drink on the house, pal. I will learn to shoot one of these days. Okay. I'm sorry, but without the music, Fallout just ain't the same. We can fix that. Music is a little louder now. Or did you mean you wanted something else? Like, did you want the radio? Raven didn't seem hopeful about the end of his video. Well, let's see. Or how about the Mesoamericans? How would they react to a zombie outbreak? Depends on which set you look at. The Mayans, that could vary depending on city-state. The Aztecs, they're probably going to try and resort to sacrificing for at least a little bit of the issues, which is going to be a problem for them because that's going to spread the virus around even faster. I think it depends on how quickly they can figure it out. If they can figure it out, they might be able to take precautions, because there's one thing the Mesoamerican has over other native factions. They actually have pretty decent fortifications. Alright. We're going to quick save here, because there's something else at the bottom. Something we dare not speak of. You think they'd have a call button, but then you'd be wrong. Taking your drugs, though. Alright. It did actually happen, though. Hey, Lark, did you see that Egypt rejected refugees from Gaza district? How bad is it when the Islamic countries don't want Palestinian refugees? Sorry, is this political in any way? Just joking. Well, this is nothing new. Local countries have not been... neighboring countries have not been big on Palestinian refugees simply for the fact that it's an economic drain on them. And you also got to understand, the countries of the Middle East mutually hate Israel, but at the same time, they're typically not fans of each other. There's a lot of bad blood that goes back a long way. Like, if somebody starts beating up on one of them, then they'll go, hey, you can't do that, only I can do that. It's kind of like similar situation to the Balkans in, like, the 90s, if you will. When it comes to zombie apocalypse, oh, hold on. Now, where were we? Ooh, lockpick it done. When it comes to the zombie apocalypse, the samurai, Icelandic pirates, British knights, and pirates would have an excellent advantage. They can shut down the island and wait out shut down their island and wait out the zombies. Yep, like if you read the zombie survival guide, they recommend like wait 10, 20 years for the zombies to basically go out and then go back and try and repopulate civilization. Yeah. Believe it or not, One of the things on my optional reading list when I was in high school was the zombie apocalypse labeled under nonfiction, which I thought was absolutely wild. That's what got me into reading it, and that's what then got me into reading World War Z. And if you haven't read World War Z, check it out. It's a great read. Probably the most compelling zombie apocalypse story I've ever heard, even though it's an anthology of several different stories, but it does such a good job of covering it, as opposed to most zombie medium, which just say, oh, and then the zombies appear. How did they spread everywhere so fast? But zombies don't ask questions. I love it when typically there's a genre where typically you don't ask a lot of questions just because it's just assumed it's going to happen, but then somebody takes the time to go, let's actually think this out in a realistic manner. Would you look at that? Gun beats tire and iron. That's because you're boring, Deacon. This is how we used to do it in the old world. You should have seen the Great War. Woo! Things in Alaska got intense. Alright. Let's see. Plot twist. The Levant ultimately becomes ruled by the Kingdom of Jerusalem. That would be a twist not seen in about 800 years. Open up! Oh, no, nothing. Never mind. I'll leave you alone. What else am I missing here? Did I raid the cash register? Yes. Alright. Here we are. There's one zombie to be scared of, the running zombies. The rest are just slow-moving targets. Yeah, well, don't underestimate the slow-moving, because if you underestimate them, you lure yourself into a false sense of security, and that's when things go sideways. Let's see, what do I have to deal with? That'll do. Mr. Deathclaw, come get me. Oh boy. This is gonna be rough. Good thing I saved. Come on out. Come here. You shy all of a sudden? How we run? Dog meat, no! Oh, dog meat, why did you take the brunt of that? You have to go in for it to spawn. Yeah, I see that now. Dog meat. Don't do that. And Deacon, where the hell were you? Man, I'm gonna remember this when I kill you with the Brotherhood. Alright. Same plan though. How you like that, huh? Get frick. Oh, it's still alive. Vaporized. Okay, so it may have died a few times, but we got it done. It's okay, dog meat. I got you. Though you being injured, I blame entirely on Deacon. Where is that son of a gun? And where are the bottle caps? There we go. Nice. Man, I think there were way more than 14 then. Direct it up, doggy. Why is the Deathclaw one-shot you? Because I damaged myself with my own rocket. That's why when I killed it properly, I had to switch over. I switched to Ad Victorium to make sure I was able to do it properly. Switch back to you. Insufficient power. I just plugged it. Alright, we should be good to go. This puts a smile on my face. Glad it does! Alright, let's see. What's next? get some rags. Did I pass it? Am I stupid? No, I'm not stupid. I am, but just not this way. There we go. Duct tape? I'll take that, thank you. Alright, back to Cambridge. Not the one you're thinking. Oh, I shot you with a rocket launcher. I got you, man. Could the church have an actual claim to Israel? The Catholic Church was the successor to the Roman Empire by Palestine and logic. If there was the first, who would make the Roman Church the true owner? Well, there's a couple of ways you could look at it. Technically, you could argue the Catholic Church could have a claim to it on the grounds that the Kingdom of Jerusalem used to exist and that was taken by the Fatimid Caliphate, and you can make that claim. If you want to make the Roman Empire claim and say it belongs to the Roman Empire, the direct successor of the Roman Empire by legal documents, by both Byzantine and Western Rome, would be the King of Spain. So if Spain was just feeling frisky, they could argue a claim to the land, which probably wouldn't make them any friends internationally, but they could technically make a claim. But heck, Greece could try and make a claim saying that, hey, we used to be part of Byzantium, it used to be a part of Byzantium, go for it. Russia could try and make a claim saying, hey, we're actually the heirs of Rome and we're Orthodox, and the Jerusalem and Antioch were seats of Orthodox church long ago. Hey, Lark, what would the Fallout characters go for as Halloween? Assuming you could explain the concept to them if it hadn't already been diluted. Deacon already changes his costume on the hour. So, Piper would be Lois Lane, because I'd make her. Kate would be a cowgirl. Preston, he already dresses up in his Halloween costume every day. We already know that who would dress up as Buzz Lightyear. When you hit me with that dollar store tire iron, fly away. Teaming up with a mortuary. That's not a bad plan there, Deacon. You're gaining my respect. Mr. House would be Mickey Mouse. He would be Disney. Pikmin would be Jigsaw. They could do it, but they don't have the fighting spirit. You think people would get rid of the radiation in buildings they live in? One would have, yeah, that's actually a great point. Did you guys set up in Augusta and not clean out the radiation? I'm not sure if that's harmful to, as harmful to synth as it is to humans, but that's not a smart move. You gotta get rid of that nonsense. Or do we actually not have Geiger counters in the railroad? Is that a real thing? Ugh, you people sicken me. Alright, Rose, the King of Spain also has the claim to inherit a title, the King of Jerusalem. As it was said. How do you disguise work if he always says greased up hair? Oh no, that's a wig. He can take that off. See? This concerns me greatly. But let's help the doc out first. Well, you work for the worst organization in the Commonwealth. What do you expect? I'm over here, genius.
Augusta's safe house was destroyed by the Institute.
It's as I feared. 3 safe houses gone. Hard to imagine.
Not with the way you run things.
I'm sure someone else will use your help. No shortage of files to pull down.
I'm loath to ask for help from you, but
Suppose you're here for my medical service.
that is correct. I need to get off my addiction. I can't impress Kate with it right now.
Patch me up, Doc.
Now go over your symptoms for me, one at a time.
You don't have cures for can addiction, do you?
As a rule, the railroad severely frowns on all of this. But can't help it. Next time, stay sober.
You know, you are very judgmental. And while I myself am also judgmental, I outrank you. Not in this organization, but just in general life. So,
No other complaints.
Off you go.
I'm gonna kill you later. That's what I'm gonna say to you. I'm just gonna kill you later. Let's go and see what disappointment number 2 wants. Crazy. No. No. Pam, are we gonna do that mission yet?
Des is trusting you. If you do anything to hurt my friends,
Tell me, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You got nothing. You got nothing on me. You do have a mission.
Solution. A new distribution center needs to be established.
Oh, this.
Yeah, just tell me what you want.
Mission details commencing.
Oh, gosh.
The target location. Fortified position.
Mercer Safe House.
Railroad assets.
Joshua Grimm would be a mummy. Yeah, for no other reason, that's all he has to work with, but yes.
Good luck.
And how exactly does Deacon get enough pomade to keep his hair green? Like I said, it's a wig. You can actually find the wig he uses around. Guess I gotta do that. Alright, Tom, tell me where you want the dang thing.
Excuse me.
Des has given me clearance to set up my atmospheric sensor.
Unfortunately.
I can prove that the Institute is terraforming the Commonwealth. Eat that, Carrie.
I can't believe Des approved this harebrained scheme.
Well, I had to make the sensors multifunctional to get the output.
Oh, good. Deacon disliked that.
I call them Reaper. Needs to be up high, real high. Des forced me to put some cameras and, other low-tech surveillance crap on it to watch the Freedom Train. Chuck that stuff if you need to. Like, who couldn't spoof a conventional camera, right?
Just
Just-
hand the stupid thing over and I'll set it up.
Just
I won't.
Just lock it down. Set me up and let the juicy data pour in.
The Mechanicus is incredibly disappointed with you. Preston Garvey would be a pirate. I don't think he'd want to do anything associated with crime. Alright, let's get this over with. Where are we? What the heck? No. No. Starlight Drive-In's gonna be Mercer. I love Starlight Drive-In. Now I have to hand it over to the railroad. Ugh, that's disgusting. Starlight Drive-In is one of the best locations to build in the game because it's majority flat and there's a lot of steel you can work with. Let me sell some stuff while I'm here.
It's easy knowing that Wolfgang is rotten in hell. Thank you. Do you need anything?
Yeah, I gotta sell you some stuff.
If you're here to trade, let's trade.
Let's.
Let's see what you have.
A little bit of everything.
Lies, but okay. 28 rounds cost me 196 cash. I feel like getting ripped off here. But what are you gonna do? Alright, let's see. You can tell Burn Everything Down is going to throw Lark's head every time he's in there. Oh, every time. Ironic since historically the Minutemen were criminals. They were, but keep in mind what he signed up for. Like, if you try and do anything sketch or you want to join the Raider gangs, he is not a fan of it. And I can't blame him. Joining a Raider gang is dumb. Why raid people as a criminal when you can come down with the full might of the law on them? Because I like tricking people into thinking I'm a good person because I have a silver badge on my side. Can you retake it after killing them? I think it just, like, it automatically, like, considers it a Minuteman settlement. Like, if you already have enough settlements set, typically it sends you, like, up to Outpost Iwo Jima. And it, even if you already have it, it just considers it, oh, hey, it's just associated with the railroad now. It's weird. But what are you gonna do? Do I have any excess guns I need to get? I can sell some mines. If I have a vintage bayonet, I don't need the combat knife. Oh, I didn't pick it up this time. Alright, anything else you got for me? General Sal's Revenge. Ooh. Boxing glove. Vintage shotguns. Nah. Don't tell me what to do. Anyway, where were we? Well, the railroad is very flammable, so why not instead of giving them starlight? So why not that instead of giving them starlight drive? I'm gonna do it for the ballistic weave. I have a high tolerance because that ballistic weave, totally worth it. Did you see Mr. Beast's new video where he had Israel let in Hamas for 72 hours in the hopes of winning $100 million? Crazy video. I have not seen that. All right, you filthy mall rats, come out. Come on. Get over here. How'd you crawl through just asphalt? This settlement is claimed by the Minutemen and the railroad. Gosh, I feel unclean saying that. Cogsworth would be Clockwork from Cogsworth from Beauty and the Beast. Oh, that's a glorious idea. I like that. But somebody was going to have to be Lumiere. Because he's got the look of Cogsworth, but he's got a little bit more of the Lumiere attitude. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Strong would be Shrek. Hey, Lark, I'm in Skyrim glitch where I can't apologize to the priestess to continue a quest. Which, is it the one in, Debella? The Debella quest? Like, when you got, you know, schnockered and started, wrecking stuff in Markarth?
Got it.
If you can't apologize, make sure you've picked up all the stuff. If not, reload. Alright, build defenses. Yeah, sure, let me just scrap everything here. Before we can build defenses, I'm going to make this the one and only good railroad safe house, because I'm going to design it, dagnabbit. The first thing we're going to do, other than clearing out the scrap metal, is getting rid of the dang radiation. Judas H. Priest, that's killing me. Is that why they targeted this place? Oh, look. Crap loads of radiation. Why don't we take that? I wasn't injured other than rad damage. Why did I eat a Salisbury steak, which just adds more rad damage? Alright. Good. Cleaned up. Lymphoma is not worth this. Kind of wish I could tinker around with some of these. I wish I could get some of these old cars working again. Can you imagine? That'd be great. Just, oh, I'm sorry, Super Mutant, but I have four-wheel drive, and I'm gonna roll right over you. Being on the patron god, you might not even want to apologize. Yeah, I'm not as big a fan of Debella, and Kennerith/Kine can, she can go screw herself. That's what she gets for having her trial in Oblivion be, get mauled by a bear and don't fight back. Alright. Perfect place to start building stuff. Now, let's see. Nope, not you. Now, what defenses do we need? Can we build? We need gears. Gears of war. First things first, we're going to have to make this place livable. Yep, quickest way to do this. Let's see who's closest. Abernathy Farm. We're going to Sunshine to the co-op. Debella's the goddess of thoughts. Mars better. Oh, Mars, one of the best of the Aedra. But yeah, very seldom do I meet a Debella follower and go, yeah, I'm glad I like that. Debella is basically whitewashed Slanesh. That's what she is. And I can't be convinced otherwise. You, worthless person who's somewhat heavily armed. You are now supplying something. Oh crap! That's right. We only have 7 beds here. Okay, I got to start building some. I got to start making sure my people are taken care of. I actually care about the Minutemen. I skipped that quest for later. Okay. All right. Let's see. They can sleep next to the ghoul corpse. That's fine. Perfect. Now let's move on to the next one. That one's too blown out. Hey Lark, would you support the Batarians if they developed a new government like it's implied in Mass Effect 3? Depends. Are they still going to practice human slavery? If so, no, they're dying. And I'm going to be the one to kill them. Because that's the thing. If you're still practicing slavery, if you're still, raiding my colonies so that you can have labor, I'm going to kill you. But it depends on how they build. Maybe they can redeem themselves. Maybe. Let's see, alright. I'm going to build a few more just so that we have some room to grow. Alright, that'll do. Alright, now back to the drive-in. Or do you think Apollyon would thrive in Gears of War? Probably. Assuming she's allowed to pick up the regular technology of the world, she would probably enjoy it because that constant state of war going on, she feels would always keep the society or COG relative. Did you activate that, Doggy? But yeah, that would keep COG constantly on edge and constantly where she would like them. But that's just me. Much better. Granted, now they enslave Quarians, and Quarians... Oh, they're enslaving Quarians? Nope, they die. They die. I have a brother that looks like he's about to get married to a Quarian, so they're threatening the in-laws now. Their government was practically wiped out by Reapers, and... Hold on, there's something to cover in that. And Balk is practically the last one. Wait, is Balk the one that we let live that tried to get on the asteroid? That tried to send that asteroid towards Earth 2.0? In that case, they're dying. Because they deserve it. The Reapers did nothing wrong in exterminating the Batarians. The only sin they committed was leaving some alive. Now, let's get this place up and running properly. And we need some water. Because the best idea with this is that the water, or rather, the settlement needs to hide in plain sight as a regular settlement so that when synths come here, people just assume they're just regular synths instead of just, hiding them in the top of a tower or in a radioactive hospital. Or whatever stupid nonsense they were doing previously. Ulfric would be Thor, Tullius would be Captain Picard, Rikke would be Princess Peach, Bulgriff would be Santa Claus, Lydia would be Wonder Woman, and Delphine would be Karen. She already is Karen, but she's Karen with a samurai sword, so that wins her some brownie points. Is there a rad roach in here? I forget if there's a rad roach in here. There's a rad roach in here. And that rad roach was tougher than some railroad agents I've met. Let's see. 6'1" Dami Lami in cog armor and a lance. Yup. Sounds like a good thing. Hey, I fully support it. I think I'd probably like Apollyon and Gears of War more than whatever the heck I saw in Gears 4 and 5.
That's it.
not allowed to. Excuse me. Ooh. Don't mind if I do. Good stuff. Let's also do a quick.
Build me a mansion, casa,
You want me to build you a mansion from a roasting spit? When's the last time you got those glasses clean there, champ? Alright, that's just about... Oh, baby. Alright, let's see what we can upgrade. Could be a master locksmith, improve my boom boom, improve my carrying capacity. I did that last time. Let's see what else. Armor mod sounds good. Expert. No, not science. How are we doing on gun nut? No. Let's prove armor so that when we do get the ballistic weed, we can do some more with it. People hate Delphine because she's was bossy to them and told them to kill Parthenax. I hate her because she's spouting blatant lies about TAS lore, and I won't stand for it. Fair. I actually had no problem with Delphine for the majority of my early playthroughs until we got to like, oh yeah, I need you to kill Parthenax. And here's my big problem with that. It's one thing to say, hey, I don't trust Parthenax and I think you should kill him. I understand that because she hasn't met Parthenax, she doesn't know him like I know him. And so I can understand that line of thinking. The issue I have is we are the Blades, and our renewed purpose is to serve the Dragonborn as your loyal servants. Well, the Dragonborn says you should do X, and you should not hurt my boy Parthenax. And I also look at the genius of the railroad. They think we're done. We have one bed. You can store maybe one synth here. No, sir. That is not how we're going to do that. Lark, if you do your own Mass Effect story, I hope you do the solar system scanning, because if you skip it, in the super weapon will horribly backfire. Please tell Raven that, because I don't want that situation to come to pass. We would be kind of livid if, hey, we finally got the super weapon up and running and it's a dud. That's kind of a disappointment. But what are you going to do? Mass Effect likes to do, well, if you don't do this one mundane thing, then the big kablooey won't work. Okay. Good, got some stuff in there. I would build like a full-on skyscraper here, but I don't want to bore you guys with that sort of thing. So we're going to put a few more beds back here. Then I'm going to put some crops in, set up a recruitment beacon, and then we're going to call it, and then, well, we're not going to call it a night, we're going to call it on this project. Could have gotten gears here. There we go. All right, that should get them started. The Blades have an ancestral duty to serve the Dragonborn, as he is the greatest dragon slayer. Literally, the only one emperor in their time killed any dragons. Well, what are you gonna do? I think they're also hearkening back to the days of like they served the Dragonborns when they first came over here, before they became the Emperor's bodyguards. Once they figured out that the Emperor's bodyguard, that all Emperor's lines were Dragonborn, then they felt honor bound to serve them. But yeah, I get the beef. I do get the beef. Though their armor's sweet though, and I will not apologize for thinking that. And now to get the people I actually care about here. I claim the stay right there. I claim the settlement for the Minutemen. And there's not a dang thing they can do about it. Better go ahead and set up this. Hopefully I only have to do the one. Of course it's in a skyscraper area. Shore is an absolute Chad. Dude created the world as a shitpost. Got executed and came back from the dead to Kakariel and frickin' Martin and then dipped back to being dead. As I said earlier, Raven has been able to work with the guitar to a degree. I am not musically talented. What do you want, Deacon?
I'm listening.
I'm used to flying solo, but I gotta admit, working with you makes me think I've been missing out.
Well, you've been working with the railroad, so that's natural.
It's refreshing, especially since you never know what an institute watching.
Don't get all mushy on me.
Aw, I was just about to open up about my first pet mole rat, Bessie.
I'll kill that too. Oh, you already beat me to it.
Some people at HQ were jealous. You took the big nap and everyone knew you was long gone. Now, hear me out on the silver lining. If a human in the railroad slips up and they expose friends and loved ones to danger, you're safe from that.
You saying that losing my boy is a good thing?
He may be a disappointment, but geez, man, read the room.
Compromised and the coursers are on our tail. At least you're not putting more people in harm's way.
I'm a part of the Minutemen. I always people shooting me.
I'm a sin. At least that's what they tell me. So, I really don't have anything to lose. Lori and me and the others, it's easier to dedicate ourselves to the cause.
No, it makes more sense because you have a personal stake in it.
You expect me to believe that?
Why not? I was one of the first to get the good old cranium reboot. It was a learning.
How about I bash your brains open and see if there is a synth component in there?
Since we're traveling together, I want you to take this. It's my recall. If you ever need to know something,
There's no way you would have this.
read it to me.
If you expect me to believe you, I want proof.
If you really want proof, you could read that code and find out. Wait a second. Maybe that's not it. Don't use the code unless you absolutely have to. It'll wipe my memories. I'm not sure how much of me you left. You know, I'd just feel better if you didn't read it to me.
Well, that was pointless. Anyway, what'd you find, dog meat? What is it, boy? Oh, you found a trash can full of... Jet, are you trying to get me high? Oh, you scoundrel, you. Let's see, where are we supposed to... Oh, up there. Great. Shoot! Wesker really let himself go indeed. On your knees, thank you. Two world wars! No, I won't shut up about it. It's amazing what you can do with a smooth Colt 45 and a can-do attitude. Alright, who's next on the chopping block? What did you have? Oh, that was a bolt-action pipe pistol. Worthless. Plasma cartridges. Don't mind if I do. Sugar bombs. I feel like the... Oh, this is a reference to chocolate frosted sugar bombs from Calvin and Hobbes. When I do a synth bass in Starlight, I put neon lights that say synth safe house. I think it fits the railroad style much better. Honestly, that might work because it's okay. They are not even that obvious. It's so overt, it's covert. Altler, no, you can't just create the world you want. We want to be gods, Lorcan. Mingoberg. Elves stay losing. Alright, gotta get a little bit of range on that. There we go. Is there someone else down there? Oh, shoot. That was not a smart move on my part. Pork and beans, nuka cola will fix a man right up. Oh, dog meat got him. Good boy. I'm a sense, just trust me. Lark sharpening a soup spoon. I want proof. Literally, though, if I could, I would. No, not yet. I'll kill you when I get there. But first, I'm eating a noodle cup. Hi, Chuckle Frick, how you doing? Wait a minute, you got 308 rounds. Get over here and give me those. Fine. We'll do this the hard way. Nice. Combat, left combat. Alright. I'll have to upgrade those a little bit later. Alright. Now behold, again, great railroad engineering. How do we secure our most important of spy systems? We're going to put it on a board and a cinder block on the other side. What happens if I just kick this? There goes all of Tinker Tom's work over the past month. Just down into the drink. Freaking idiots. Alright, wait, was there Radix in there? Yeah, it's worth taking. I hear dog meat whimpering. You okay, buddy? Okay, you're okay. Be thankful, guys. That was actually one of the easier locations to set up a Mila. Sometimes they put them in ridiculous locations where it tells you like there's 30 different entrances to one building and there's only one right way to go, but they're not going to tell you that because the pathfinding in this game can be something awful. Lark's still using the American loadout for the M3, the A1, and the Colt. Well, God bless America. Indeed. Nearly 300 years of pure American spirit engineering. And I gave my M1 Grand to Kate so she could further learn the American glory. Though I still know how to appreciate other cultures. Yeah, boy. Hold on, the SVT-40 can even chamber to 308? I think it's the closest equivalent we can get in-game. Alright, so now we've appeased my robot overlord and the psychotic engineer. I think that's the polite way to put it. Alright, gotta put the weapons away. Don't want them to suspect I hate them. I hate you, Desmond Demona. I am so good at hiding my emotions. Moron!
At first glance, the atmosphere
Uh-huh. Whatever floats your boat. I do not. Disgusting. Of course he freaking does. What do you want? Something stupid, no doubt. I apologize on your behalf.
A raider gang has captured one of our agents, codename Blackbird. Twisters, we thought he was going to be killed.
When are you gonna let me go raid the stash?
Far-fetched hope that A, Blackbird is alive, and B, he can tell us what happened since Helen Rustmore fell. So she wants you to tackle this fool's errand.
No promises, though.
The dead drop has the full briefing. Raiders aren't known.
You know, I'm right here, just tell me.
Since you're risking your men. Good luck.
Gee, thanks, buddy. Feel so warm and fuzzy with you.
Setting human-machine interface to 100%. Good day, Agent. My data indicates a user safe house has been established. Reward dispensed. Further help is required.
Of course it is.
Have the location of a platinum
Hot dog!
It contains supplies our organization needs.
No, I need. You don't need shit.
From any hostile speeds vicinity.
A pre-war cache. This will be interesting.
Unable to process verbal response.
Yeah, that's great.
Cache.
You'll be working for the Brotherhood soon enough, sweetie. Don't worry.
Tactical counter-surveillance protocols. This RFID device will locate and unlock the cache upon close proximity assessment is correct. You only have to secure the cache. Others will
We need to, you know, make sure the machine spirit in this is okay. Can we get a tech priest on the phone, please?
interface.
Tell me about the Great War. I'm not familiar with Fallout lore. I want to know what happened in Alaska. Okay. So, bit of a story here. First, let me check and make sure I don't have any... Okay, no. Don't have anybody that's damaged. Okay, so... The Fallout world is a little different than our world. It has the same timeline up until a little after World War II. The big difference in between our timeline and the Fallout timeline is microchips never got invented, or if they did get invented, they weren't until far later in the future. So using stuff like vacuum tubes were used far longer, and we started to look into nuclear technology much earlier. And so technology sort of continues to focus on what you would see in something like a 1950s or 60s sci-fi novel or Pulp Fiction mag from the 40s. As a result, resource consumption goes way up. And the culture never gets out of sort of the 50s vibe, if you will. But because resources like consumption goes way up, because we never did the microchip, we never figured out other technologies, like how to... I agree, you are annoying, Deacon. But because we never got to focus on some other stuff, like how to properly process certain fossil fuels, we burned through what fossil fuels we could build up much faster in this timeline. As a result, by 2077, things have changed. Like, we are running low, mankind is running low on pretty much every resource you can imagine. Only one country still has some degree of any resources, and that just so happens to be the United States, because we still have oil refineries in Alaska. China, now the leading communist leader in the world, because the Soviet Union still exists at this point, but isn't quite as influential. China does a sneak attack and invades into Alaska. The U.S. also invades Canada just to make sure Canada doesn't try and, double cross us or do anything silly, like try and be Canadian. I'm kidding, of course. But we invade Canada. We go and we kick the Chinese out of Alaska using a new technology called power armor. Power armor running off of fusion cores, making it so we don't have to waste as much gas with tanks and stuff. There we go. So because of that, we effectively kick the Chinese out of Alaska, and then we start pushing in an island hopping campaign, and we get to mainland China. We make 2 beachhead landings that we know of, but as the war's going off, nuclear bombs start raining all across the world. China nukes us, we nuke China, we nuke everybody else, China nukes everybody else. World explodes. Now here's the thing. We don't officially know who set off the first nuke. The Enclave will tell you it was the Chinese. If you talk to the Chinese, they'd probably tell you America did. However, Mr. House in Fallout New Vegas suspects that this one company known as Vault Tech, who built a lot of vaults, actually set off the first nuke to get the war started so that their predictions about the war could come true. And that they could actually test their experiments in the vault. We don't know for certain, but considering Vault Tech's propensity for evil, I'm willing to bet Vault Tech probably pulled the trigger first. But then again, China was losing the war, so there's every chance they could have just wanted to go out with a bang. What if nuclear war never happened in Fallout? They would have had to have some very serious technological changes. They would have had, if they could figure out, say, nuclear reactors, and I don't mean like fission reactors, like fusion reactors, they could fix most of the problems that they have. Or if they just figured out how to manage fossil fuels like we do in our timeline, then they would be okay. And they could have avoided a nuclear war. But what's also interesting is the nuclear warheads used in this timeline aren't as strong as the ones we have in our timeline. Because again, technology hasn't progressed as much. Well, it's gotten, in certain areas it's doing quite well, like robots and stuff are a thing, but otherwise, not as much. Deacon, you are blocking my way. Thank you. Alright, let's do this. It's the work of the Thalmor, of course. Actually, there is a connection to Skyrim in this game. If you go, when we go to the Pridwin, I will show you. Oh, the gunners are here. I'm gonna need this. Kaboom, baby. How do you miss with buckshot at this close a range? Hey, Deacon, go in there and check and see if the ghost is clear. Aliens. And Mothership Zeta isn't canon, so don't think about that. Mothership Zeta isn't canon? What heresy! Would you stop trying to give me cancer? Oh, it gives poison damage too? Is it rad damage, like technically already poison damage? Whatever. Quit your whining. Alright, anyway. Let's see. The USSR was going to be permanent ally with the US in the Fallout timeline, but I think that part of the lore was retconned. Yeah, it depends. I don't know how much got changed and retconned between the transition from Fallout 2 to Fallout 3, because Bethesda did not make the original Fallout games. I forget the name of the company that originally did it. Let's see. Any other schmucks? Oh, they did you dirty. You're working for the Gunners and you're running with a 10mm auto pistol? Oh, you must be a new guy. Alright, let's see. Wait, Lark, you like Mothership Zeta? I enjoyed the fact I got to talk to a samurai. Beyond that, honestly, the DLC for New Vegas was just much better. It did have some cool things, but yeah, ooh, 44 caliber? Don't mind if I do. What a railway spike. There we go. Alright, let's see. Vault-Tec makes a profit off the information they get from experiments. I'm guessing the Enclave paid it for it. And whatnot. Oh, wrong direction. I lean more towards the China fired first theory. There's several instances where you can find terminal entries in army posts that indicate they detected Chinese air units inbound without warning. True, but that could also be, depending on the date, that could be a reference to the invasion of Anchorage. Either Black Isle or Interplay, I forget which one created the original Fallout. I think it was Black Isle, but again, don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% sure. Also, Vault-Tec were the ones that pulled the trigger verse. The Nuke and Megaton has a low-resolution version of the Vault-Tec logo. There is that, but it also could be that Vault-Tec just decided that, you know, for kicks and giggles, we'll just throw our nukes in the business too. Why not? And this is another reason why I hate doing railroad missions, because it sends you to do a lot in skyscrapers. And when you leave, you have to go in and out of skyscrapers on multiple levels. And when you do, they don't load properly. They do it like you're just going to another room. But no, they have to load the entirety of outside. Which normally wouldn't be a problem, but they do this weird loading thing. I want to play Fallout Mexico, but my laptop is poo-poo. That can be a problem. Alright, where am I supposed to go now? Wait, did I raid the cache? I did. Must not have been one heck of a cache. Alright, we'll go back. Jetpack power armor. Nice. Timestamps were early October 22nd, so yeah, that would have been for the nuclear blasts. Used to sell them to the government. I know what they gained from starting Armageddon. Good PR, but then again, Mr. House probably just doesn't trust any company that isn't his. What do you want?
Hey, you.
Yes.
Randolph Safe House has been MIA since switching. Now,
Well, good for them.
Des wants you to check it out.
Des wants lots of things.
Checking out dead traps is your job.
Not when it could be a big old trap from the Institute. Once you take care of the dead drop, report in to Des.
Glad you're with us.
I suppose
I'm not. All right.
Pam took care of the DIA guy.
Statistical model. Reward dispensed.
Oh god, the covert sweater vest. Alright. They're not gonna immediately give it to me. I have to go out and do like another railroad mission for Tom to figure out.
We don't exist. And if you see anything different,
You do exist. But I'm going to rectify that mistake soon enough. Gosh. At least I got a comic book with a gorilla on it. So there's that. Alright. Let's go. What? Abernathy Farm is low on... How are you low on food? Greentown Nursery doesn't it? Oh, I got some stuff to do, apparently. Yeah, I gotta... No, they already have enough people doing stuff. You're right, Lark. Black Isle Studios made the original Fallout game. They also technically made New Vegas. I thought Obsidian was big into that. Or did Obsidian acquire Black Isle Studio, or did they just through some sort of transformation that I don't know about? Regardless, we got more grinding to go. Look at him sing. Alright, fun fact, Glory doesn't drop a synth component. Oh, is she a filthy liar? Is she just trying to feel special? Oh. Oh, that suddenly makes a lot of sense. And I mean a lot of sense. Not wasting that yet. Alright, let's hear the Blackbird report.
Blackbird spotted. Badly injured. Way too many hostiles for the runner to engage. Request assistance from HQ.
Not a lot to go on, but okay. Hey, Lark, does adding more RAM do anything to your computer? Gives it more processing power. Means it can handle more taxing stuff. But it also assumes you add the RAM properly. Black Isles was recruited into Obsidian. Ah, okay. Then that checks out. It also explains why when they were commissioned to do New Vegas, they went back to the West Coast. And they kind of continued on with the original story of the first two. Alright. Gonna keep your wits about you. Let's see, how far away is this location? Can I fast travel? Judas H. Oh gosh. Back in Skyscraper Central. Glorious. Just glorious.
You're saying glorious?
Glorious. Not a bad look there, Mrs. Minuteman. I approve. What happens when you... Glorious, what happens when you give a blue-haired chronic tumbler chick a minigun and bulletproof vest? It's not even bulletproof. It's a lie. Still better than whatever the heck they give me until they give me the ballistic weave. And it's like, here, have a covert sweater vest. Like, it's not even covert. Alright. Who's out there? I see. Yep, it's a hostile. Move, thank you. Other stupid fictional corporation: Umbrella, Fazbear Entertainment, Biosyn, Apex, Saber. Don't forget the Templars with Abstergo. Who was shooting at me? Yeah, must have been focusing on something else. Anyway, back to Carrington to let him know, yeah, we wasted our time with that. Let's see. I forgot Waylon Yutani. Yep, at least Waylon Yutani gets into space. Oh, look, he's got a little buddy.
The survivor from
Doc.
Vesta, Blackbird, is dead. I didn't find any evidence of where the synth is.
He probably joined them.
Well, at least you weren't hurt. Perhaps Desdemona will listen to me this time.
Then we can die in different ways.
Now, you don't mind.
I do, actually.
Can't need you.
Let's see, hacking. That's going to booster hacking. Hey Raven, want to tell you if you don't know, do the solar system scanning, and at Mass Effect 3, the super weapon will backfire and destroy the Earth.
You know,
Human machine interface.
I've already gotten on one other person for spoiling things about it.
Hello, Agent. I could use your help in acquiring another
Noted.
I'm not trying to be mean or nothing, but I don't want spoilers. At the most, I'll ask people what mission they think I should do next, or what decisions they think would be the best choices. But I don't want people coming to me saying, "Hey, Raven, if you don't do this, or if you do that, then this will be the result." And I don't like that. I don't want that. I would prefer no spoilers, Michael.
Alright. Oh yeah, Raven came back. Next game in Texas, would you prefer Fallout Antebellum or Fallout Lone Star? Lone Star's got a good ring to it. Now where's Tommy Boy? There you are.
I was power napping and whammo, it hit me. Got some ideas on how to get out the
I don't care about the deliver, I want you to give me the ballistic weave.
That's good, even more. Well, more. So check out my stock.
Sorry, Raven, I didn't know it was a spoiler.
Later.
How is it not a spoiler?
Hi.
No, legitimately, Michael, I'm actually curious. This isn't mean, I'm genuine. How is that not a spoiler? Telling me that if you do a thing or don't do a thing, this is the result. That's the definition of a spoiler, giving away a result to an action. Like, it would be like if I was still playing the first game and I was deciding between the Rachni Queen and saving her or not. And someone said, look, if you save her, she comes back in the third game to help you out. I didn't want to know that right away. You know? I didn't want to know that. Now, someone may say, hey, you should really help her out. It'll mean something later. That's fine. But, no. Anyway, everyone wants the stupidest corporation in fiction? Kaiba Corp.
I can agree to that.
Kaiba Corp is the dumbest corporation in fiction.
Because our whole company is dedicated to trading cards. You can't do that and not be Wizards of the Coast. You need to speak with Desdemona to get the ballistic weave. Okay, then I'll turn around once I finish this mission for them. Hopefully that gives them more time to process. It also gives me more time to blow stuff up. I'm not wasting good ammo on you bloat flies. Nurgle's Wrath. That'll teach him to exist. Hope you two are doing fine this night. I'm doing great. And oh no. Ah, good, now I can recover the mini nuke.
Headshots.
Let's get dangerous. I'll take that. Thank you. Disintegrate, please.
No.
Well, that's not nice. I feel kind of sad now. Oh dear. I thought Wailing Yutani is the dumbest of the bunch. Oh, they're definitely up there. They are most definitely up there. But you gotta understand, Kaiba Corp is run by a guy who literally had some, his corporate executives try and kidnap his brother and oust him to another company, and then threatened to kill him. And after that, they said, no, please, trust us. In fact, jump in this holographic simulation. We promise we won't try and kill your brother again. And he just trusts him. I don't get the laser musket. I understand the motif of the Minutemen, but clearly they had to break down a functioning regular military-grade light laser rifle made them. Well, actually, that's not necessarily clear. It could be that certain parts of the laser rifle weren't necessarily working, maybe the triggering mechanism, maybe something else, but the power supply, or rather, the focusing of it seemed to work. The crank is just sort of like how they get its power. So, I don't know. I think it's a nice little doohickey, but it's great for a starter energy weapon. After you get some other toys, best to move on. Like, if you can get the mod for this bad boy, this is a glorious weapon. Alright, now where am I? Asking a philosophical question. Where are we, dog mates? In the state of life, I mean. Free gold watch, don't mind if I do. Are you impersonating an officer, Deacon? That's illegal. I love old Assassin's Creed games, but I hate how they just have the evil Crusaders as the bad guys with no nuance. Later games tried to have nuance about Christianity and Templars, but failed. Later games actually got worse when it came to Christianity.
Yeah, I would argue that later games just got worse and worse. Like in their most recent game, Valhalla, well, now it's Mirage, but before Mirage Valhalla, I thought that they just made Christians out to be completely stupid.
Yep. It's not a good one. Alright, I'll kill you. But not because you told me to. Because it's what I want. Let me notice it was powered by a jack-in-the-box, and it's one of its many power issues. Randolph Station. Oh no. Clearing University points. Great.
Mr. Timms here. Randolph.
Your name is Mr. Timms?
Do not make
They
direct
call me Mr.
Do
Timms.
not make direct contact. We got 3 packages, very scared packages here, requesting assistance. Our runner reports we got Gen 1's camp nearby, assuming we're under surveillance. Please have a heavy clear the area. Coordinates enclosed. After, please pass our status back to Big D. Mr. Timms out.
Big D? We have to talk to Dursley.
Looking for Diamond City?
Where is Diamond Cities? Oh, it's right there. Oh boy, here we go. I cannot wait for the Witch Trials Assassin's Creed. The Shinobi Assassin's Creed will be cool too. I have very low faith in them right now. I think he's referring to the colonial American French Revolution games where the Templars had good points. The French Revolution game, the Templars' whole point was we're going to cause as much chaos as possible so they welcome our tyrannical rule with open arms. And also, I still get confused by what the Templars wanted in the American Revolution, because they wanted to say, like, oh, we're starting a new world and order here in the New World, but the problem is they wanted to side with the American Revolution. If they wanted a more structured and ordered society, it would have made more sense to support the British. And I think the only reason they didn't say, hey, we're going to support the British is because they figured they didn't want this to be they didn't want to make America look good. And so they had to make both Templars and Assassins support the British. I mean, both Templars and Assassins support the Americans. And how did I miss? But yeah. Also, another weird thing with that, they harassed Connor for saying, and you screwed this up to start a whole dang war, but they started the Boston Massacre. It's like, you're the one causing civil conflict here, and I'm about to die. No. Two world wars. Deacon, don't try and convince me you can read. Filler Bethesda V House somehow sound even more robotic than TTS. Well, TTS is a love project. It is a love letter to Warhammer, man. There's a lot of time, energy, and effort put into that. I'm surprised they haven't made a game in which they show the assassins can be the villains, but I'm guessing that would just make you racist. They attempted to do that with Rogue, but they kind of failed. Because the problem is Shay Cormac, for all that he's got going on for him, he's kind of an idiot. Because he's messing with precursor artifacts. He accidentally causes an earthquake, and he goes back to Achilles in the New World, and he starts screaming at him. Even though he's had a month to think this out, he just starts screaming at him. Instead of just going, hey man, we can't go after any more of these artifacts, man. They cause the earth to shake. Instead of calmly and rationally explaining it out. But no, they don't do that. But yeah, if you want to know more of our opinions on that, we have a whole playlist dedicated to our thoughts on Assassin's Creed. We are caught up to Odyssey. We are still working on Valhalla. They were a tanky son of a gun. But no, I'm not putting on the synth helmet. I refuse.
Drew, do you think you will do a video on how the For Honor world would react to a zombie play? Like how would Morcos and Chimera do? I don't know. I wouldn't really think about that more because, frankly, I'd prefer to look at zombie play if it was in the real world. Because let's face it, in For Honor, I could say, oh well, it would look this way, but there's also the supernatural element that For Honor's filled with. Like supernatural capabilities, the Jorogumo, for example, the Jormungandr snake, dragons, all this supernatural stuff involved in For Honor. I'll tell you what I'll do. My theory is that the big Halloween event is going to involve zombies. If that is indeed the case, I'll make a video talking about whether or not I think that it's accurate or not, like whether or not that would be the way it would work. But if not, I'll probably just leave it alone.
We will see. I will take the beer off your hand, sir. I know there's another synth round these pots. I can smell it. Or, no, oh, it's you, Deacon. You're the one that's disappeared, you fuzzy freak. Get over here. Oh, there you are. Hold on, I'm reloading. Thank you, dog meat. Don't kick my dog. I don't take kindly to it. Thank you. Kind of sad we can never repopulate. We can never, like, take this place. Ooh, a Vault Tech security helmet? Not bad. Alright. Good show there. I think Odyssey had the most potential out of the new ones, but only if it wasn't an Assassin's Creed game and took place in the same world. Just historical fencing. I completely agree. I love Odyssey, but I do agree that it would have been better if they had just left a lot of the Isu crap or just Assassin's Creed. You just had a good time. It could have been its own thing. It could have made a great spin-off series, honestly. Like we could have, and I would have loved to stay more in the ancient world. Like I wanted, like a similar game like in Rome or in Carthage, or heck in Persia or Seleucia. You okay? Yeah, he's a little chilled off, but he's okay. Alright. Let's get this done. Mary Lark, how would you fix the Assassin's Creed series as a whole?
Get rid of the ISO.
Yep.
I think if you do that, that is going to fix a lot of the problems I have with it.
Because here's the thing. The Piece of Eden was an interesting plot point for game 1. But afterwards, I really don't care. The only other time I think I cared is when I got to use a Piece of Eden in Brotherhood. That was about it. Any other time they say, hey, you might get to use a Piece of Eden, like they depower it down and it's just a cosmetic or some nonsense like that. So, it just doesn't work well. And from a narrative perspective, you already have 2 underground organizations fighting for the Dominion over mankind. You don't need some other issue of like, oh, look, there's some ancient historical artifact doing Lord knows what else.
Well, like, to put it in perspective, all the newest Assassin's Creed games barely even bring up the Assassins and Templar plot. Like, if you notice that, like, with Origins, it has so little to do with the Assassins versus Templars. It has more to do with Bayek getting revenge. In the Odyssey game, yeah, you hear about the Order of the Ancients, but you don't really deal with them either. The Cult of Cosmos is what you deal with. And even then, it's such a side mission. It's such a side thing. You could beat the game and not even deal with them.
The vast majority of them, yes.
Yeah, the vast majority of them. I mean, you don't have to complete that. And then in Valhalla, it is such a side mission that literally you don't even have... You have to build a shack just to be able to accept certain missions. I've been playing through Valhalla, and I have to work hard and make an effort just to try to find people to kill on the list. Like, it's such a waste of time. Which is ironic because it used to be a major part of the game, you know? But, no, I guess those days are done.
Yeah, another interesting thing is they keep on making these big threats as plot points in one game, and then they'll completely hand-wave them in other mediums. Like, for example, the big thing about, oh, hey, if they're going to try and shoot a Piece of Eden up in a satellite and try and use that to take control of the world. And then they hand-wave it in another game where they just mention, oh, by the way, Abstergo launched their satellite. It didn't work. Oh, so we were breaking our butts to try and stop them from getting that done for no reason?
Well, I mean, let's be real. They don't even know what they're doing, like in the modern day, which is why I don't think they should focus anymore on the modern day. Because when we had Desmond, Desmond's story was kind of interesting, but now it's gotten to it's just ridiculous. The main character, I don't remember her name, don't care about her name, don't care who she is. She's annoying. She's a Mary Sue, and I can't stand her. Bayek, the guy claiming he's Bayek, I can't stand him. That's why I will not play Mirage. If Lark wants to play it, he can play it. I'm not touching it.
And it's not Bayek, it's
not Bayek. I'm sorry.
Asim or something.
Loki. Let's just call it what he is. He's a Loki. But the plot of the game has stopped making sense. Wasn't one world-ending cataclysm enough? Didn't Desmond dying say... It's kind of like, you know what it is? You know what it is? It just hit me. You know what it is? It's basically Star Wars the sequel series. Think about it. Luke Skywalker redeems Darth Vader and defeats Emperor Palpatine and saves the day. The galaxy can start over. Desmond Miles sacrifices himself to stop the end of the world, dying a hero's death. The world can start over. Now back to Star Wars. But it turns out the universe isn't saved. Palpatine returned, and now Rey Skywalker, a strong female Mary Sue lead, has to step up and really for real save the universe. Just like how this new chick who came out of nowhere, the new Mary Sue strong woman character, has to really save the universe now.
Got it.
See, it's the same thing. We can't have a character who just wins and then write a story to follow up. We have to repeat the same story because we're too uncreative. The plot of the Desmond Miles saga was the world is going to be destroyed if we don't figure out Ezio's lessons and then figure out how to save the world. And then Desmond, at the end of his life, realized it, because keep in mind, Desmond had an arc. He started off not caring about the Assassins Templars, wanting nothing to do with them, but then ends giving his life for the Assassins to make something of himself and make a difference and save the world. It was a character arc. This chick came in a Mary Sue and left a Mary Sue and didn't even have the good sense to die and sacrifice herself. She's living as a star child or something now. For all eternity. So you'll forgive me if I don't really give a damn about this character. Everything that goes on outside of the Animus at this point doesn't matter to me. It stopped, genuinely, it stopped mattering to me after Assassin's Creed Rogue. When literally the whole Templar plot, the whole modern day Templar plot revolved around na-na-na-na-na-na. That's what it was. The whole Templar plot was essentially na-na-na-na-na-na. That was their whole goal. To gather footage of Shay Cormac killing assassins and betraying the assassins and showing this to all the assassins of the world saying, look, in history, one of yours betrayed you.
Look, we know. We had one that betrayed us literally not even 10 years ago.
And then everyone's kind of like, oh no, what is this? Is it another purge? What's happening? Only for them to find out, oh, it wasn't a purge. You're just flexing your muscles and trying to, like, measure dicks with us. Okay. And it made me feel like, was that the big goal? Was that what we were building up to this whole time with Assassin's Creed Rogue? That's the big build. That's the big final note. We made you betray yourselves once in history and once 10 years ago. That means we're superior. Okay, but there were also Templars who turned our side.
Like, Altair's wife was one.
Yeah, like, it means nothing. It legit means nothing. It was such a waste of it was such a waste. I'm like, did we even care? Did we even care?
Yeah, and another thing, like I said before, they hand-wave stuff. Like, because apparently, the big evil that we've been waiting for all this time, they've been building up this whole thing. Desmond died to release this one bitch, Juno, and then she dies in a comic. Just dies in a comic. Completely lost.
The main character in Assassin's Creed Mirage is bossing even Ishak. No, he's Loki. Don't you know? In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, he was the big, twist villain. Turns out that he's actually a reincarnated Isu who's rediscovered his memories as Loki, because apparently all the Isu are named after mythological gods. And he is trying to, I don't even know, regain his memories and save his wife and children because of what Odin did way back in the day. It's stupid. It's very stupid.
How would you fix the historical stuff in Assassin's Creed? You'd have to break it down by game.
Yeah, you'd have to do it by game, because each game has some historical problems. Each game would require fixes of their own. Like in the first game, don't make Acre the one game where the one city where everyone looks
decrepit.
Like they were clearly showing their bias by making all the Muslim-owned cities look very clean, advanced, nice, welcoming. Acre looks like a musty hellhole. But you really should.
It's like, why is it always gray and overcast in Akka?
Right, and then of course they also never showed Salah ad-Din. They only showed Richard, which is fine. They didn't do Richard terribly, but
I would like to see Salah ad-Din.
I would have liked them to have tried to at least do Salah ad-Din, but I'm worried that I think they were worried if they did that, they might have to address some of the things Salah ad-Din did that were less than amiable. In the second game, actually I think that was perfectly fine.
Second game, they probably need to show some of the darker sides of the Medici. But other than that, I think they did okay in the second game. I think they did pretty well. In Brotherhood, they there are certain characters that are in Rome that don't make sense for being in Rome, but Cesare being a bombastic villain, that works perfectly fine. Revelations, we start getting some more problems, like the Byzantines still having a very large active presence in Constantinople. Beggars belief. Also,
Yeah.
the sort of whitewashing of the Ottoman Empire. That would need to be addressed.
That
we need
was
to see
hilarious.
we need to see the darker side of the Ottomans.
Assassin's Creed 3, I think that needs a total rewrite.
It does. Sean needs to learn. Like, if Sean doesn't shut up, Desmond needs to be able to actually fire back somewhat competently. I don't know whether Rebecca needs to do that or William Miles needs to, but somebody needs to put him in his place and remind him, hey,
She explained why, but I couldn't figure it
not good at the whole
funny
listening
thing about
thing.
Assassin's Creed 3 is it's very clear they were trying to undermine the revolution.
Yeah, you can show the dark side to the founding fathers, absolutely, but show the good side to them too.
Yeah, it was very clear that they wanted to undermine the revolution and undermine the founding fathers. Like they're not people to be praised.
Calculating. Institute presence increases odds of detection of
Desi.
all northern
Desi.
52.
So the Templars are going on our stupidest factions and fiction lists. They do belong there.
They need to be there.
It's sad that they used to, because I used to have high praise for both of them, but now, no.
Doesn't anyone else work around?
Well, I like the Borgias.
Mhm.
The Borgias were good villains.
Yep.
You haven't met her. She works in good neighborhood.
Oh yeah, Dr. Amari, I'm familiar.
Since there's
But yeah, let's see. 4.
gives them a new set of
I don't think they did anything too egregious in 4.
but her latest patient is stuck there. The runners
I mean, they they messed with Blackbeard a bit too much. They made him too much of
Cam,
a heroic figure when that's not what he was.
Is a nexus of
Yeah,
institute
wow.
activity. Odds of detection.
There's that, let's see. Next one, Rogue.
The nexus.
French and Indian War they didn't handle too poorly.
You can't run ops
I just think the actual narrative writing there was,
The narrative was terrible, not the history.
yep.
I think the doctor's right.
You see?
Assassin's Creed. What was that for? Rogue?
The French Revolution, Unity.
Unity.
They got
They got a lot of the French Revolution.
Yeah.
Man.
I would have liked to see just more areas than just Paris, though,
Yeah.
and Versailles.
Then Syndicate.
I suppose.
Screw Syndicate.
Syndicate is just.
I cleared out some Gen 1s for Randolph Safe House.
First of all, having a bunch of women CEOs running around in Victorian London, being down talked to by a young child, also not pleasant. Also assuming that British parliamentary members would actually be willing to listen to a Raj. Very bold assumption.
We should contact them directly.
Yeah. Let's see. Gosh, I'm having to rethink Syndicate, and that's already a problem. Oh yeah, the biggest issue. The whitewashing of Karl Marx. They drag my boy George Washington through the mud, but Karl Marx is going to be a shining beacon of humanity. And they don't even let me shoot him.
That was annoying.
Oh yeah, because it's a historical problem that affects gameplay too. Guns apparently don't work properly. Hey, I shot this man in the head. That doesn't hurt him in the slightest.
Assassin's Creed Liberation. Oh yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it?
I haven't played that one, so I can't talk. That's great.
And then there's Assassin's Creed
Hey,
Origins.
About to head out.
You got a lot of things right with them making Julius Caesar the bad guy.
Yeah.
Tom,
And yeah, that was out of nowhere. Making Cleopatra and Julius Caesar the bad guy, I'm not against the idea, but they did it out of left field. Cleopatra and Julius Caesar were pretty chill and pretty cool at first. Like they were awesome. But then they quickly said, "Oh wait, yeah, we need villains, don't we?" Yeah, let's make them the villains.
I don't need any.
It came out of nowhere. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I don't think it was bad. They just needed to fix the way that the Spartans and Athenians fought. But I
Yeah.
understand why they did what they did. And then Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The history isn't bad. The narrative is terrible. I think that's what it comes down to. The history usually isn't too terrible. It's the narrative.
Hopefully, after Memory Interrupted, they start giving me my ballistic weave, because my patience for working with them is starting to run thin. Didn't Julius Caesar genocide the Gauls? He could work as well. He didn't completely. Like, the Gauls still existed afterwards. He did exterminate a few tribes. He wasn't above genocide, but he didn't automatically go to it. But here's the thing: the Gauls may have hated him. The Roman populace adored Caesar.
Yep.
Which is why I found it very confusing at the very end when you go into Shiv Caesar. Brutus is criticizing him, saying like, "Hey, you need to help out the people. You need to help." Like, the people love Caesar. Brutus, you're a conservative optomates.
Besides, you're saying Julius genocided the Gauls. That has nothing to do with Egypt. And also, do you know what the Gauls were doing at the time?
Yeah,
But legitimately, he had his reasons.
yeah, Caesar
And while
could
you can say, well, there's no excuse for ever genociding the Gauls. Believe me.
Well, keep in mind, Rome was sacked early in its history by Gauls. So, they have some beef. Not to mention Gallic tribes on numerous occasions have fought with the Romans. So they have reason. So back off, douchebag.
Well, you're the one who's going to get insurance.
This guy,
We'll just
Finn.
your insurance is paid up for now.
He's the guy in the game. Oh, hold on, we're about to see a show here, boys.
What do you care? You ain't one of us. No love.
On the plus side, while Hancock is going to deal with this scrub, the Minutemen, are about to get artillery, fellas, so that's going to be fun for next time. Ah, you love to see it.
Now I know you had old Finn Hand back there, but Name's gotta be the point sometimes. Alright?
I'm fine. Thanks for taking care of it.
Good.
Good old Hancock. Good to see you, champ.
Good neighbors of the people, for the people. You feel me?
I feel you.
Welcome.
Yeah, I feel you.
Good. Stay cool. Pardon me, brother. So long as
Mr. Rogers may not approve of this neighborhood, but I certainly do. And let's see what he's got. Nice. Very good. Alright, we can turn off Radio Freedom now that I got what I was waiting for. Alright. Let me get over it. Dr. A. Mari. This one makes Allo different from the real Caesar. Also, gladiator fights weren't blood sports, Lark. Oh, I'm fully aware gladiators.
Yeah, we know they weren't blood sports.
Because here's the thing: from what I've heard, only 10% of gladiator fights actually ended in death. Because keep in mind, anytime you kill the gladiator, anytime you have a gladiator executed or killed in the arena, you have to pay the Lunista, the gladiator school, to make a new one, or rather train up a new one. So very rarely, unless the sponsor was stupid rich, did they ever say kill them. So, yeah.
Any good memories? Meetings with sexy strangers, that kind of thing?
I'm sending Raven a vial of holy water and a week's worth of prayers. He's gonna need help for getting it through Valhalla, no doubt. Hancock is best boy. Bold assumption. Ooh. Buddy of mine's playing Warhammer 3. Hope that's going well for him.
The plan? Kill everything in my way. That's the plan.
It's really always the best plan.
I don't suppose we have many other options. Malden Metro Center. That's where your problem is. I'm leaving H222 and his future in your hands.
A terrible decision, really.
Never had this conversation. Never here.
Don't have a conversation about the railroad?
On the table. It's a personal message for your ears only.
The doctor said I could say goodbye.
Hey, Deacon. Oh, hey, lady, want to hear this?
To have the operation. I know I'll lose all my memories. I don't want you to be sad. I have nightmares.
I don't want you to be sad neither, buddy. Oh, I was going to put him down.
Being hunted.
That's right, he's not here anymore.
Handle it. Everyone says I'll be safer if I start a new life. I know I'll be happier.
Are you injured?
Regret is
How did you get hurt?
Old man Stockton.
Gonna have to put him down.
The worst fear. But I know this, like
Weren't they where a lot of gladiator classes, like For Honor, should take notes and maybe make more customizable characters? Then they'd have to do it with several others, but yeah, there were different schools of fighting, if you will, in gladiator style. Like, you had sword fighting, you had axe fighting, you had trident net combos, all sorts of stuff. Alright, let's see. Where is this? Eliminate the Gen 1s? Can do.
Might want to wrap it up soon because it is.
Yep, we're going to try and clear this place out, then go. A lot of civilizations did genocide. Yes, particularly ancient ones.
Yep, it's not uncommon.
Like when someone tries to... Oh, shoot. Oh, Deacon, don't be that guy. Fighting is what I do. And look at Dog. Are you going to tell him he's a bad boy for slaughtering ghouls? Yeah, that idea sounded good the first time you said it, but, you know, you keep repeating yourself.
Conquering anything or anyone that frightened or posed a threat to them, you make the assumption that Rome was frightened.
It also depends. Like, for example, there were two tribes known as the Teutones and the Ambrones. They had been pillaging and plundering Rome's allies, and they were invading into northern Italy. And they had defeated a Roman army. So, to deal with these Germanic tribes, they sent in Gaius Maurus. And Maurus obliterated them. He eradicated them. So one, they would no longer be a threat, and to send a message to anyone else who might try and invade Roman borders, if you mess with us, this is the price you will pay.
Raven, will you ever put Blasphemous and Blasphemous 2? It's based on Spanish culture and religious iconography. Not right now. Maybe later on down the road.
Oh, wow. I know how to win this with the power of drugs. Let's see, what's the best way? Yeah, full auto.
I'm curious as to why Rome abolished the monarchy. You mean the emperor?
I'm curious what? Oh, they're talking about the kingdom period.
Oh.
Here's the fun fact about that. We don't 100% know.
Yeah, there's not a lot of solid evidence to support why. Some argue that they felt that the people spoke up and they decided to create the Senate to overpower the monarchy, and that just faded. Some say that it was a slow burn. Some say that it was a revolt. There's different theories. I don't know personally.
According to legend, and even Roman authors consider these legends, one of the last Roman kings was just terrible, and his son was so awful that he openly raped a woman of an important senator. Which the woman came down and basically explained what the prince did, and took her own life, and called the men of Rome to act. And so so they overthrew the monarchy. Now here's what's suspicious about this and what throws off Roman historians. Romans have a little bit of an interesting history of sexual assault, because Rome was founded with the rape of the Sabine women. Because Romulus, after killing his brother, set up Rome, but there were very few women there. So in order to make sure the city continued, you needed women. And so the Romans invited their neighbors, the Sabines, to come to a party, where they dragged the Sabine women, drugged away, had their way with them. And then the Sabine men found out there was about to be a big fight, but the Sabine women intervened, saying, hey, we don't want the fathers of our children killed. And so the Romans and Sabines sort of came together. So in that instance, Romulus got away with it, so why was this prince not allowed to get away with it? It just Roman historians are sort of questioning about it, and why they know there's something to it. Regardless, we know the Roman monarchy screwed up something fierce, to some way that irritated the Romans to go to a more of an oligarchic republic. Alright, let's see, how do I get in here? There's gotta be a way.
We got a
I do not have the patience for you right now. Okay, I'm gonna finish talking with her, then we're gonna call it.
You got the job from the good neighbor side. I got it from Griswold's safe house.
That's great.
Then they're just wasting my time.
Cheers.
Well, since we're both here, what do you say the two heavies join forces and rock the
See you get shot? I wouldn't miss it.
to see what you and Deacon really get up to in the field?
Usually it's spa days and that kind of thing, but hey, I'm up for some mayhem.
You liar. Typically you whine when I kill things.
It's up to you.
Then let's show them how it's done.
Oh, great. Alright. We're gonna save there. And we're gonna call it. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around with us this long. I know putting up with the railroad can be an intense and tumultuous situation, but you guys have the stomach for it, and I enjoy having you around. Apparently you enjoy having me and Raven around. So, again, thank you so much for being with us, sticking with the channel for all you do, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Take care, guys. Y'all have a good one. See you tomorrow.